Some of that podcast, we back after our little quick break after our 100 episode. So this is episode 101. Yes, well, thank you. I want to just give a shout out because we haven't recorded since we actually did the show. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that came out, showed support. All our friends, our family, you guys really showed out. We really had a good time. And so many of you guys have encouraged us to do another show. So we're going to work on that for this summer, to do another live show. And we'll get y'all those deets soon. But thank y'all. Yeah,
it was dope.
It was dope. Yes. We had so much fun. We had so much fun.
Good.
So, but as y'all can see, Coach is not here. He's a little bit under the weather. So I had to call in the troops. And so to my right and to my left, I had two of my best friends, my sisters. You guys have met Carya before.
What's up?
Carya's, she's a singer extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire is funny.
Yeah. But Carya's going to be joining us. So they're just going to be podding with us today. And this is my cousin / best friend / sister on the side. That's the other T. That's little T. I'm big T. So they are joining me today. Y'all want to say something?
Well, first, I want to say congratulations to some of
Thank
that podcast.
you.
And Coach Mo. Like, we were at the 100th episode.
It's a big
like
deal.
Carya was saying, I'm so proud of y'all.
Yeah.
Good. Congratulations, man.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, I'm super proud. So everybody doesn't know this, but since we've been little girls, we've been friends, 30 years now? 20?
I don't know.
It's 30 plus. We definitely had 30 plus years. And when we were kids, just like in our, little young age, my mom would always tell Latisse, Latisse, you're going to be a talk show host.
Yes.
Right? She would say that to her all the time because Latisse she could bump that beat. She could just go. And she never embraced that, being a talk show host. But, my mom always said that. And she must have seen something in her. And she didn't know nothing about podcasts back in 1993 or whatever. But she saw something in her. Latisse is just a wealth of information. Mo is just a wealth of information. And I tell them jokingly, y'all know everything. They just know everything and they can expound on that. So I'm so excited about you and Mo doing what you all love and what you're really great at. And not just sharing your wealth of information with me, who already knows you know everything, but with the rest of the world. So congratulations to SOTSOT.
Thank y'all. Just so y'all know, we're going to do our, like we normally do our weekly rundown, but we're going to have some girl talk because my girls out here. So it's only right to have some girl talk.
Well.
Yes, might as well, since the room is full of fragrance. We might as well
what y'all wearing tonight? You do smell good. What you wearing, T?
I have on Daisy, Marc Jacobs Daisy.
Okay.
Marc Jacobs is my guy.
See? Okay, so I told you I was wearing Idol, which is one of our other best friends' favorite fragrances. But if y'all didn't know, Bath & Body Works had a really big sale, and it was $4.95 for the big bottles or whatever. And I bought this body splash called Bouquet of Roses or something like that, or Bouquet or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. Have y'all smelled it?
Real good.
It's real good.
What you put that with, though?
So I put that with the Idol, right? Because the
good.
Idol has that rosy kind of undertone in that. Really and so I mix it in. I'm a perfume connoisseur, self-proclaimed. So I mixed that together tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you wearing, Tereon?
I'm wearing a new gift from my mom. This is called Noor 29 by Layla.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well.
That's a space.
Tell us all about it.
That's why it smells so good in here, Mike.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
It's some good stuff.
Frankincense and myrrh.
Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. Yeah. I just got a little Marc Jacobs on.
That's good. That's good stuff.
You know what, y'all? Let's talk about fragrance. I hate, having putting my clothes or my coat on top of their clothes. Like say if you go somewhere.
Don't start with
I'm just telling best friend stuff now. So if we go somewhere and I put my coat adjacent to either one of those, now my coat smells like them for the next month because they have a whole bottle of
whatever,
expensive perfume on. And now I'm in the house. I'm like, why do I smell Carya? And
you rather smell like us than smell like the world.
I want to smell like myself.
You want to smell like outside?
I don't want to smell like outside.
Right, so we all in good company
puts
here.
on 2 skirts and I'm like, wait, girl, that's gone before you even walk out the door.
I
But
put
somehow
on
it stays
2
on her though. Somehow,
it does. You always feel good.
So funny, but that's because people with sensitive skin, you be scared to
I'm
overdo the
and your sensitive skin.
I mean, I've had it all my.
That's over.
It's not though. It's actually not. How do you grow out of sensitive skin?
Easy like asthma.
No. Still got it. It's just it's dormant. That asthma is still there. But anyway,
I'm sorry, I digress.
That's okay though. We're gonna get into the show. But before we get into the show, I do want to give prayers to the 6 workers that lost their lives from the bridge collapse in Maryland.
Really sad.
That was like devastating. Like how it just crumbled like that. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I did. I saw them, the boat or ship or whatever was going under, lost power for just a few seconds. It just goes to show, like, a few seconds can change a whole lot of lives, like, real fast. So, you know, you really have to just appreciate every moment, because this moment could not resemble the next. It could be alive today, dead tomorrow, or dead in the next 5 seconds, like, whatever that looks like. You just want to really savor the moment and do the best that you can with where you are in this moment every day.
Yeah, I feel like it hasn't been so long since we've heard something like this before, right? I feel like in the last couple of years we've been hearing about these bridges
maybe not
collapsing.
here, but maybe overseas. So it was super sad, because actually I heard something which I want to get a shout out to their police department, because they got a call that the ship had crashed into the bridge, and then they had like I don't know what they call it, but when they put like a alert out to shut down all the exits, so they shut down the entrances to get on and off so that no cars can go through. So that probably saves even more lives. Like I hate to say like at least only 6 people, because that's still somebody's, could have been worse. That could have been, but it absolutely could have been worse. So shout out to those cops that were thinking fast and
because I saw in the video, a car had just went by when the power went out on the ship the first time. Yeah. And then it came back on real fast. Yeah. Hey man. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I know people have like their conspiracies. Like a lot of people think like, it's a lot of time when stuff like that happen, people say it's like a distraction for something else. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I don't know. I think that, things happen. So, it could really happen anytime. We could really happen anytime. So I don't want to think about the conspiracy of it now, because people, lives have been lost. So, but prayers to everyone in that situation. For and, hopefully, they recover those bodies and, can give the family some kind of peace. Yeah. But, but anyway, kind of switch gears, which I don't even know if it's even like a lighter note, because I know everybody has seen Diddy.
Oh my God!
If you haven't seen Diddy, for those if you live under a rock and you don't know what's going on with P. Diddy, aka Puffy, aka Sean Combs, aka Love,
aka No Diddy,
aka No Diddy. He, I think every week it gets worse and worse for him.
Yeah.
And so just a couple days ago, they actually raided all of his houses. Homeland Security, they raided his houses for, I think they said they're looking for things associated with like sex trafficking. That's what I think I read.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna ask y'all, like, obviously with everything that's been going on with Diddy, pretty much, I think we can all agree that his legacy is pretty much done. Or what do you guys think about that?
I think that his legacy is tainted.
Okay.
The things that he's done in the music industry, we can't take that away from him. No more than we could take it away from R. Kelly or the things that, Bill Cosby has done. I'm still watching the Cosby Show. I'm still listening to 12 Play. And I know what they did, but that don't have nothing to do with the gift and what they presented to the world. Everybody has, their skeletons and their dark shadows and things like that. But I think we're not looking to Diddy for music anymore.
No.
Now we not gonna. I hope no one's still wearing. What was that? Sean
John.
No one's wearing that anymore, right?
Well, I mean, the uncles at the barbecue still got that.
They don't know no better. They at Burlington and Marshalls and Ross. There's just a few more left. So we're not wearing that no more. We got Ciroc, and that kind of thing. But I think he's
I think everything that his name was maybe associated with, like the Ciroc, the tequila. I think all of that, like he stepped away. Revolt.
Okay.
He's like, if he had any shares in that, he sold it, and he's not associated with any other brands anymore.
He was suing at one point too, right? Though he was suing.
Which that's interesting too, because I've heard that conspiracy that he
was doing what?
He had sued the tequila company.
Because he wasn't being marketed properly or something like that, right?
It was a money thing.
It was a money, okay.
It was a money thing. Like I think because something like that too. It was with marketing. I think he had an issue with how they were marketing his tequila. And so anyway,
what's his tequila now? What's the name of his tequila?
What was it? DeLeon or something like that?
De Leon.
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah, man, I don't know. You know, we not really looking to Diddy for nothing, like for real right now. He had just kind of turned into a business mogul, you know, and so we respect him for what he's done and his contribution to the hip hop, you know, society and the hip hop culture or whatever. But like, we weren't really looking at him for nothing. But now it's just like side eyeing him, like, bro, why you do all of that?
Yeah,
it wasn't
he's
even
been
necessary.
having that. He's been having that like kind of cloud over him for a long time.
Yeah. Well, you know they do. Before they get to the point of raiding all your homes and pulling your kids out at gunpoint.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have a little something following you. But yeah, I mean, he's tainted. But the thing is, he's got all his money, and hopefully he's down in Antigua or wherever. He's put it in, you know, some offshore accounts, and he'll be cool. You know, I don't know if he's going to get, you know, convicted. You know, the man is entitled to a trial. But, you know, it's some pretty sick stuff.
That's true. He hasn't been charged.
That's what I was going to say.
Technically, he hasn't been charged with anything.
Right.
These are
Do they usually raid a home if a person
charges?
ain't been charged with something? Like, what's up with
they're
that?
looking for. I mean, they had to had.
They can't raid your home and look for what they're trying to build a case on, right?
They had to have had some kind of
against
proof.
the law, right?
They had to have some kind of, like, when they had to been building a case, and you have to have like pretty much almost like some solid evidence to say this is
we can search warrant
to get that. Like, you can't just willy-nilly do that, because you're absolutely right, that would be against the law. But
they Homeland Security the man.
Yeah, I think, you know, I got a couple. I think so. Two things. So I do think that I feel like they're trying to trump up stuff now, right? Like, it seems like they're trying to add stuff. Like, to me, when stuff's already bad, you don't have to make nothing up. And that's where you lose. Because now you're trying to say, like, Carisha and that lady Daphne, 50 Cent baby mama, like, you're trying to say they're sex workers because he gave them money. Well, he's rich.
He's a mogul.
What is the people who giving away the CUDA for free?
Nobody.
Somebody need to come in there.
I mean, if
you didn't get nothing and you raggedy in the butt. You know?
I mean, if you are continually having sex with Diddy and you don't have nothing, you should have something to show for it.
Correct.
I mean, so I feel like now they're trying to say, like, calling them sex workers because he was giving them monthly stipend. No, he owed them that.
Yeah.
I mean, what is Carisha
tricking if you got it? The man is a billionaire. You know, he got money to give his little ladies to get
in her 20s. Yeah. What the hell you think finna happen with her and a 50-year-old man? You think she going there for fun?
Well, she ain't said much yet either, though.
She ain't gonna say nothing.
I feel like the people have turned really quickly. I'm just saying. I feel like Diddy feels like he would have more support from the people.
I was gonna say that.
Then
do y'all think? So this is my next point. Do y'all think that it's a witch hunt for black men that are like
powerful and rich,
because you had Russell Simmons, you've had others, but now they're clearly going after Diddy hard.
I agree, T. There probably is, but here's the thing: none of these men out here are the standard. Yeah, that's the problem. We put these people up on the pedestal, and now they coming for them. But if they did these things, they should be got. I mean, but I do agree that black men are being targeted. It's been like that for years,
since we got here,
decades, centuries.
Epstein and who's
they got to sprinkle in somebody else.
They got to sprinkle in somebody else. But here's the thing: stop doing stupid stuff.
Stop doing.
Just because you got the money, don't mean you got to abuse the power that comes with that. Yeah. Everybody just do right by the people around you. And I hate to say this, but people always think of black women are crying or whatever. But protect black women. Yeah. These are the things that come along with you not respecting a a woman that looks like your mother, looks like your sister,
right.
looks like your daughter, you know, respect black women. You ain't have to do that because they could have had anybody that they wanted the right way.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And somebody would have did whatever it is. If you wanted to have this, you know, polygamous kind of relationship, somebody would have been okay with that too. You know, you ain't have to go out.
It's an abuse of power.
Yeah, you ain't got to do all of that. And even with the men, and I'm bringing in all of that stuff, you know, and somebody that I know said that he was kind of involved in some stuff, and it just gets real weird. Like people feel like when the more money that they get, the more that they can just live above the law or above God's law, whatever that looks like. And I just don't think that that's okay. It's important that you just kind of stay grounded, and that's, you know, that's what I feel.
I mean, it's an abuse of power. I mean, it not only protect black women, but it was men involved too, and younger. So it's protect black men as well, and that's a situation people don't talk about a lot, is that the men that are being put in those situations because you know, it's a lot of men don't come out with it because now even
it's
though
taboo,
the guy could have been like, I wasn't with it, right? But then now it's just like, yes you was, you know, or it's just like, we don't believe you, and then they automatically now they call him this guy gay or stuff like that. He may be full heterosexual, but because he was hitting on, it's like, well, why would he hit on you? What made him? You know, they question it. So it's unfortunate. It's definitely an abuse of power. And even though, like you said, I agree, both of you guys, like, even though it's absolutely, we know that black men are always a target in this country, don't put yourself in the cross paths. Like, you can't do that. Like,
and
you
we
didn't have
easily
to
say
do
too,
that.
like, everybody just be right, like Kaya said. But slowly, this is what's been happening over the years. Like, whatever is wrong, it's like, okay, drop a little bit of sugar on it. It's gonna be okay. This is acceptable now. This is acceptable now. So it's like, okay, even if you accuse me of this, it's acceptable now. It's okay. People can do whatever they want. So
it gotta be a little bit of how it was when I was a kid. My mama be like, "Will you do it at? That's what I'm gonna get you at." Like, the minute they do it, because they push the envelope way too far.
Absolutely.
But if somebody would have said, let me check you on this, like at the first sight of it, perhaps they'd have been like, "Ooh, no, you know, let me take a step back from that," you know. And that goes for like even people, because people do allow stars and people of power with money to just kind of get away with things because they have the money and hopes for a dream and hopes for you know, a better life, you know. But that ain't the way to do it either. Like, have some integrity about yourself, and you know, have some standards. Just because you got this don't mean that I have to actually, if you know, let you sodomize.
Right. Exactly.
What
and I'm not with it. But I was gonna say that
self-respect.
I was gonna say that the probably, if we being honest, that probably happened to Diddy coming into the industry.
Probably did.
Like, I mean, like you most stuff is learned behavior. Most stuff is learned behavior,
and it becomes normalized.
It's normalized. So if you in the industry and you start off, I think most people, whether it's entertainment, especially entertainment, and even like in politics, I think people are impressionable when they're young, like you said. They want to be attached to something great. And I think they go in there thinking, I'm gonna be a good producer. And then you get in that room and they like, produce these nuts. No, seriously. No, I mean, that's what that's and then it's like, you know, what do I do? Do I produce these nuts? Like, you know what I'm saying? But they do though. And then
I know.
And that's how they get in. And then now you got in, and a part of you probably feels like, I'm not finna let it easy somebody else get in. You're gonna have to go through the same thing I went through. And I think it's just a vicious cycle that they do. So, you know, it's unfortunate, but
and they test the waters. Y'all know this story about me, but I won't mention who this star was. But as a young teenager, I was, you know, trying to go for the R&B, and I had a group, and our manager was like, "Hey, I got this big star that I want to introduce y'all to." It was a school night. We were in high school, maybe like a freshman, sophomore in high school, something like that. And she took us down there to see this particular person. He was playing basketball, and he had some young women with him then that was underage, that were clearly underage, that I thought was a little boy, but it was a girl. You know, but when I saw how long he had us waiting, we all turned to our manager like, "Why we here so long? He don't know we kids."
Right.
Like, he's disrespecting our parents. It's a school night. Why he got us out here so late? And then we ended up getting to the studio finally. And when he walks in, he says, "When a star comes in your presence, you stand." We went nuts. Who you talking to? You ain't nobody. You are not God. You do not tell us to stand in your presence. You kept us waiting all night long. And you know we young. You know we in high school, and we ain't singing nothing.
Because you had standards.
Because we had
worlds.
standards. You're not going to treat me that way. And I think that it's important for people to just to step back. That could have been me.
Right.
It could have been me in his house getting, raped or, locked in a room or, just kind of
taken advantage of.
Taking advantage. It could have been me, but there was something in me from my parents and just self-respect said, I'm not going to let you do this to me and I don't want it that bad.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't want it that
So
bad.
go get somebody else to do it.
You didn't want it that bad.
No,
but
not
some
that bad.
people want it
because that
so
was the first
bad.
thing. You trying me, right? And what's next?
Yeah. That's always it's a little bit it's always like that. I'm gonna see how much I can get away with. It's,
Right.
I'm gonna let you in, and then the first thing I'm gonna do I'm gonna touch your leg.
Yeah.
Right, but that's baiting. That's grooming.
baiting.
That's how
You're baiting me.
predators work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're not gonna disrespect
Absolutely.
me, even my time.
Even my
Yeah.
time.
And
at
I'm
that
15.
young age. Exactly.
At this young age, you're not gonna get me in trouble with my parents because they're coming to get me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
have to be
with
at
a gun.
home.
it's a good thing. You know what? I'm glad you brought our parents. We're gonna segue to this next
Yeah.
one. I don't know if anybody's seen Quiet on the Set. It's a Nickelodeon documentary, 4-part. Very, very heartbreaking, very, very disturbing. But when you said parents, it just was good for us to go into that because if anybody hasn't watched it, basically, some of the people that worked on Nickelodeon back probably in the 90s, early 2000s, they're pretty much coming forth, giving their stories about how they were treated, women and men and kids, and how they were treated on the set. And so a lot of them were groomed. There was probably the most popular one was the guy Drake, Amanda Bynes, who everybody loved. That story is so devastating because she was so freaking talented.
She was hilarious.
She was like she was
natural.
hilarious. She was natural, and you can just see all the life sucked out of her after she went through that. But a lot of them were under the tutelage of their parents, under the guidance, and somehow it's still what these people do is these executives. They put the kids, you 12, you 12, 13, 14, trying to be on TV. Yeah. They put them against their parents and then make them, separate. Now you want to divorce from your parents and all this stuff. And anyway, they basically, a lot of them were taken advantage of for years. And Nickelodeon, for a period there had like 4 pedophiles.
Yeah.
4 pedophiles like working with kids.
That's crazy.
How that gets past everybody is beyond me. But did y'all see that? Like what were your I know you didn't see it, T, but Kai, did you
I saw snippets
of it? What was like your thoughts on it? Like
I think it goes back to like what will you do for money? A lot of those in their contracts they were saying that they had, if the children were on set, they had to be, or they couldn't be in the room with the man or the opposite sex or just in a room with 2 people by themselves. It can't just be, what's the lady name? Annie. What's the little lady name?
Who? Amanda?
It couldn't just be little Amanda, whatever her real name is. And Mr. What's his name?
What was his name?
Schneider. It could just be them.
Yeah.
It had to be somebody else. And I just saw it too. It had to be somebody else in the room with them to make sure everything was okay. But when people start getting comfortable with their kids in this place, they just kind of allow them to kind of be there. I think about like as a kid, like what adults did your parents trust? Like you could have been around my daddy. They kind of, after being in those settings for so long, I don't want to say that all of the parents were negligent, but they probably just trusted these individuals because they too much in some instances.
But we see our families grew up together,
we had a
and
circle.
even then you have to be careful even your circle because. Yeah. My dad wouldn't let me be just around all my uncles willy-nilly like that. Just the truth though. Like I got a lot of uncles.
Don't sit on Uncle Peyton's
you
lap.
can't sit, you know what I'm saying?
The whole time, don't sit on your uncle's lap.
Don't sit on no man's
lap.
Yeah,
he was
you
the most
couldn't
loving
do
man in the whole wide world.
Get
up. I'm like,
get up.
Okay.
Stand up.
The
but
same
now I
thing.
understand because we wondering like, how did it happen? How did it happen?
Yeah.
And somebody's being taken advantage of right now.
Taken advantage of. Yeah, because of little stuff like that. Like I won't say the parents were negligent either, but I do think some of them turned a blind eye because they were, when you're young, the paychecks pretty much come to your parents.
Right.
And you want the same, fame that your kids are getting, or you want the perks that come along with your kid being a kid star.
Yeah,
and so you can't
They tired of going to work. They wanted to get out of the
tired of going to work.
For you. Yeah. But I do think there is an agenda, to your point earlier, T, about maybe like setting the kids against the parents. I remember just a couple, maybe it was last year, I was taking the kids to the doctor or whatever, and normally I get to see like on my chart, I can see what's going on, what kind of vaccines we've done or whatever. What's the last doctor we saw? And when Kevin turned 13, I couldn't see his information anymore.
That's nuts.
What, they told you couldn't see it no more?
No, I couldn't log in and see. It was for him. He had to give me permission.
That's crazy.
To see his medical
That's
records.
crazy.
Yeah. So I feel like different laws being passed, you know, it's like, okay, this is for the betterment, but
it's not.
Nah,
nobody.
that's crazy.
It's. I don't understand how stuff like that can be a real thing.
You can't buy a pack of cigarettes. You can't buy any alcohol.
You can't do anything without me, but I can't.
You
see
can't
your
sign
medical?
a lease as long as you're in my house.
Listen,
I mean,
I'm gonna see everything.
That's
you barely cook breakfast for you. Like, I'm doing everything. I'm providing.
I couldn't even close my door. Less more than you can't see my medical records.
And here,
that's insane.
I am your doctor. I know what's going on with you. These are just medical records.
That's insane. That's the predator. Even in the predators that are even in, you know, in
healthcare,
that are in office that people are voting these things in, you know what I'm saying? So for that to be okay, you know, there is a large group of people that are pushing for, you know, pedophilia to not be pedophilia.
Like it's not
they are pushing for it to be normalized for grown men and grown women to date kids.
Yeah,
that's just wild.
Because at their age, they're supposed to know.
It's a movement, and with stuff like
who's leading this movement?
You just have to look online.
Okay, you have to
look online. I don't know their names, but I've seen them have rallies and things like that because they want it to be like it's just love. And when you
could be 5 years old,
you can be 5 years old, and if I'm 35, that's my wife.
Whoa. But that's the
my
thing.
husband.
That's what I'm saying. Little bit by little bit. We wouldn't have been hearing about this how many 3 decades ago?
Nah.
Our parents were still in the dark.
Right, in the dark.
They were still
but now
in
it's coming out. People are being emboldened.
Correct.
I was going into I wanted my parents to be there.
Yeah, because what if they do something to me? I'm scared of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if you live for 5 minutes. I'm like, no. I remember that one time we were at the family picnic, and I went to the washroom. No, J-Lo went to the washroom.
Yeah. She wouldn't let my mama.
She's our circle, and she was like, okay, go ahead, use the bathroom. She was like, no, you have to get out.
Yeah.
You can't.
She was like, don't.
Let me wipe your butt.
Can't touch my bottom.
Touch me.
Yeah.
She's like, go get my TT.
Yeah.
Don't touch my bottom. And I was like, get out. Don't touch her bottom.
Yeah.
I'm the only person that can touch her bottom.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
but at least,
get out.
I mean, I'm saying, at least she was understanding. She wasn't saying, okay, let me just do it. No.
She was laughing like, this little girl that told me I can't touch her bottom, but she right. Let me get out.
But you taught her that, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
You taught her
because
that.
my mama taught me, and her mama taught her.
Yeah.
And now, with you having that divide between children and parents, it's like, okay, a little bit by little bit, now everything's okay.
going to be
now
okay.
I can get married.
I mean, you see it now. So many teachers, more than I've seen. I know, like back in the day, it probably still happened, but more and more, we're seeing in the news like teachers, not just men, women that are getting caught with their students.
Yeah, that's so
like
crazy.
they're trying to normalize these things that were so like off limits when we were kids. Like you said, now all of a sudden, like I'm a parent and I can't see my 13-year-old's records. Like who does that? But it's more and more this stuff is crazy. Yeah.
And then like, what does that say to the kid? Like, I have to give you permission to do something.
Yeah, they think that though.
Yeah,
but you think that, but I don't want you to think that because that's not real.
Yeah, that's not real.
That's not a real thing in my house.
But exactly, because you want me to police them on these video games. You want me to police their bedtime. You want me to make sure they get to school on time.
Yeah,
like
you want me to police them and make sure that they're not, out here doing any crime.
Right.
But I can't see their medical records.
Knock it off.
No,
I need to see everything.
I'm going to do that and more. I'm going to see these medical records. Boy, open this.
Would y'all let y'all kids like with what we saw like in the documentary and how we know that they do prey on kids, would y'all let your kid, if Jay said right now, or Junior said right now, I want to be a child actor, like would you let him be a child actor, knowing how it appears to be like Hollywood has some kind of something on it? It's got something. Like, how would you approach that?
Well, y'all know my methods, my parenting methods. I teach them that they can do whatever they want to do. So yeah, we can do this, but I'm still going to be there. Mama Bear's going to be there. Godparents are going to be there. Grandparents are going to be there. And they have to know about these things. I have to have conversations with them and let them know this is what I'm trying to protect you from. So we can keep that open communication. They can keep on coming and tell me if something happens or whatever. And God forbid we have any issues like that. So yeah, I would let them do something like that if they want to.
Yeah, but these kids are very intelligent.
They know. Those
and
are my
they know
babies.
they're safe. They know they're safe. She's a phenomenal mom, by the way.
Yes.
You know, they just know that they're safe with telling, you know, their circle anything. And I'm grateful for that. You know, we can just have those open dialogues, you know, with them. But they're different, you know. So some kids, some parents,
perfect. I'm just
not
saying
perfect. I'm not saying it's perfect, but they are open to discussing things. They feel free to express themselves. They feel free to say, "Hey, yes, I like this. No, I don't like that." And here's why. You know, and then Tereon is always really good at listening. Okay, let me listen to it and let's dissect it. It's really kind of cool how she does that with them, so that everybody can come to a common understanding, at least some kind of middle ground. But some parents who know your kids got a wild side, you got to make a hard choice. I'm not going to send you into the lion's den,
right?
Because you're not ready.
You nutty out of it. You know, can't trust you. You know, if you find that your child is not trustworthy in that way, then I would say like, nah, you might just hold him back. And I know that sounds bad as a person who is a child and wanted to be in like this world or whatever.
You have to protect your kids.
Yeah, sometimes you got to protect them. You know,
and parents have to make hard decisions like that.
They do.
Go ahead, hate me. You know,
I'm saving
I
your
don't
life.
say yes to everything.
That's why I put you in your car seat. I was saving your life. I'm saving your life.
That one
I'm
lady,
saving mine because you came out of me.
That's correct. It was one lady on there. It was one black lady. She wasn't playing no games. She was making noise the whole time, like, what's going on? What are we doing? And when she was calling them,
my mama would have been
his black ass was gone. The next episode, little boy is gone. Look, what
that is your first and last check.
Yeah,
have a good
we ain't
day.
got time for you and your black Bible up in here making all this noise. Like you gotta go. I'll remember which one. It was the boy, which was so stupid. They had this boy.
It wasn't the boy that they made wear the Superman outfit. He was on there a couple seasons.
It was the boy they was. It's not funny. They had him in.
You're clearly laughing
because it's so stupid.
No, it was meant to be funny.
It was meant to be funny at the time, but we didn't know. But
like now that we know all of the sexual connotation behind it, it's like, oh,
his name. He was supposed to be the youngest rapper alive. That's not funny. He's the youngest rapper alive. His name was Lil Fetus.
Oh my gosh.
Wait. So stupid. So he was dressed as like a fetus, like Ennis had a baby, rapping. It was absolutely.
Now that is just funny though.
I mean,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
He
that
had like
hilarious.
a little leotard on. It's stupid.
Did Dave do that? Did he write that? That was funny.
Dave had
Lil Fetus.
Lil Fetus.
And I ain't even realized too, y'all, which was we gonna move on in a second. We finna move on, but it was a lot. Like I didn't sexualize it as a younger child because I didn't realize what was going on.
Right.
Look at it as a kid. Every time they're squirting people in the face.
Oh my
god.
God.
Would come shots.
And that lady was squeezing that potato like.
Yeah, they had
would come out of this lady, please.
What was her name? What's the girl name who sang
Hannah Montana?
Hannah Montana, but
Miley
the other one, she's popular. The one who sang like Mariah Carey.
Ariana Grande.
Oh, she sing like Mariah Carey.
Well, like she that's her idol.
Too, yeah.
That's her idol. But she
tough crowd.
Yeah, I know. Poor Ariana. Poor Ariana.
God bless everybody.
She's got a song with Mariah.
Okay.
Yeah, but they had her like laid out and like pouring stuff on her. It was just.
Oh yeah, she was pouring that water all over.
Yeah, and then he had her holding like that thing on. It's like
he always has.
And he had like a whole thing called like pickles. Like Pickle Man. And they was like sticking pickles in holes like.
And Penelope Tank.
Oh my God.
It's just really bad.
Dan Schneider
but
is
the thing is, if the
true.
parents were hearing that, like obviously the kids were innocent. We were innocent looking at stuff like that. We know what we was looking at. We just laughing, they squirting stuff.
But it can't be going over everybody's head.
I know. Did the
That's
parents?
what I'm saying.
Now that's where it should have been, some kind of interception. Like, okay,
and contraception.
But you know what? If you're not perverted like that, you probably really don't know. Like, it could
to the pure, all things are pure.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're not really thinking about, you're thinking it's a kid show.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking somebody squirting, toothpaste in your face, you're thinking, oh, it's a little funny. You ain't really thinking like this is equal to a cum shot, because it's like, it's a kid show. There's no way he's doing this, right?
Somebody with a dark mind.
And he is somebody with a dark mind. He absolutely will. He's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, it's so many cartoons and stuff now. I've seen,
look.
if you go on YouTube right now.
Oh, they're all out now.
They're all out. Like, it be stuff in the background. Like, it can be, little kids in the front playing, and in the window, somebody's in the back getting humped.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen that, like, in cartoons. Like, somebody did, like, a whole, like collage of, like, inappropriate things in cartoons.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe, I'm like, these people are sick in Hollywood.
Well, good thing, when I was a kid, I didn't like cartoons.
I
So I
didn't
wouldn't
really
even
watch
that.
cartoons either.
I watched enough.
I ain't like
They so mature.
I'm
I'm
the
the oldest.
mature.
I'm the old. They're mature. They wear big glasses and things. So they
don't
know it
talk
all.
about big
But
glasses.
I don't have
know
no big
everything.
glasses.
but moving on. This is a lighter note. I don't know if y'all seen
Please,
this.
let's get to the lighter note.
Lighter
I
note
got my
for
big
real.
glasses. I have my big glasses on.
Oh, big glasses.
I got these for Latif. She said people with big glasses think they know
And
everything.
she definitely
Miss
she knows
Know-It-All.
everything.
Oh, okay.
So Miss Know It All.
Okay.
Did y'all watch Freaknik?
Did.
Hey.
Hey.
Why we not on Freaknik?
We
We never went to that stuff. Why we never go?
You know what? I feel like
Our parents wouldn't let us go.
we're not going
But like Freaknik was like, okay, you could like once you turn 18, 19, we technically could have went. Was this still
No, we
around
couldn't have
then?
went. I couldn't have went nowhere. The medical record at 13, nothing. I was still getting whoopings at 18. I could not go
Always
anywhere.
say that. You were not getting whoopings
I
at 18.
called my mom. I
gosh.
was not, able to go there.
Because you knew it all.
I had a
you knew
whooping the
too
year
much.
before I got married.
So y'all never
What
want to
do
go
you
to
mean?
Freaknik?
Huh?
Did y'all ever want to
Yeah, I
go to
wanted to go to Freaknik.
Yeah,
I feel like they commercialized it
My cousin
so
was
much.
down there at Morehouse. I was ready to go. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then we
were
had the
saved.
body
God
for it there
saved us
too.
from that. We didn't need to. We
True.
didn't-
Well,
True.
He saved us from that.
I
Don't
was
you?
them girls, them days,
Yeah, we want a little action. Want a little action. Yeah, it was. If you guys haven't seen it, you check out the Freaknik.
Well, they said Uncle Luke said. They said it wasn't really.
It was. I'm gonna be honest. It was kind of boring.
That's what I'm saying. What we knew
was
about
what
it,
we
we
knew
thought it was gonna
already.
be- Exactly.
What we
That's
knew
probably what it
already.
is.
And then it was like, to me, Atlanta, anytime Atlanta get a chance to like pump up Atlanta, that's all they do. I mean, it's like, okay, they just wanted to just talk about how good Atlanta was, and okay, we get it.
all the Atlanta artists.
Because
Yeah,
it was
we
a
get
Freaknik
it.
happening in
Culture.
Garfield
But we
Park,
already acknowledge
like, every
that
summer.
as black people, we already acknowledge Atlanta is like the black capital. We know that. It is though. We can't get around it. It's
really have to have it. God
I
bless
know.
Atlanta.
probably,
but I don't
Atlanta
have to-
is
I don't
probably
like it.
one of the blackest cities that we have.
Correct. They are. They
I
are.
feel like we just
but they were talking
partial
about
to
how
where we
they
come
kind of
from.
got put on the map like globally in 1996 when the
Yeah.
Olympics came there. So everybody started looking like, oh, Atlanta, what's Atlanta? And then all of a sudden, all of the stuff they start, being able to, just kind of capitalize on that. But I don't think it's nothing so great about it. Everything is too far. The traffic is too much.
Atlanta traffic is trash.
It's too many things. And it's great that a lot of black entrepreneurs were able to launch their businesses,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
things like that. But it's no different than what, black Americans can do here, or in Illinois or wherever else. If you just decide to, they don't support anymore. Ain't no more black people there than it is here. It's just,
It might be a little more black people there, but
is it?
it might
Miss
be.
Know-It-All.
No,
it's more black
Where
people.
my glasses at? Let me get the
I'm saying
population
that,
out.
but no, like I mean, Atlanta is like one of the black capitals in.
Like a black hub.
It's a
there.
black hub.
black hub.
Atlanta,
Let's call it a
DC,
black
it's
hub.
a black hub, and it's one of the blackest for successful people. So I understand wanting to put that spotlight and not want to make it about what it turned out to be. Like, it did turn out. If initially it was just a picnic.
It was just a picnic for
if you watched
HBCU
it,
college,
for HBCUs,
students,
they were
right?
trying to give like something to the black students to like counter what like white people's spring break.
Right.
Man, why would a college?
What's the
be
other
calling
thing
something
called
a
something
Freaknik?
stop?
Because
Woodstock.
back
They
in-
were trying to give them like black
Yeah,
Woodstock.
but back in the day, it was Freak was a dance.
Freak.
So it was like freak.
Show me how you do it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hey,
I don't know. But freak, I mean, I'm
because I gave her the
42.
countdown. When you hit a countdown, you got to go for it. 1,
At
2,
42,
3.
like,
That's
what am I
like
doing with
5,
my
6,
knees?
7,
It's
8.
all on
It's all on your
action.
shoulders.
It's all up here.
Shoulders down.
You know, it's all up here. The knees are
If
done.
someone says 5, 6, 7, 8, you got to do something.
Yeah, you gotta do something. You gotta perform. But no, anyway, I was saying that the freak, it was a dance. This is what they said in the documentary. The freak, this started like
The freak is called the dance.
it was a dance called the freak.
Okay.
So they
How you
used
do
to.
that?
I don't know how to
We
build
really
it, and
don't
they
know
and they
for real.
didn't show us, but it was like this was old school. This was like in
must have been a booty
It was like the 70s.
From the
I'm about to say this is back in
This
the
is the
day.
70s.
This ain't,
Yeah, because the old heads had
Yeah,
it
so
first.
the old heads had it first.
Okay.
So it was basically like a dance.
Stop
It was
calling
like
them old
so it was
heads.
like
I
the
mean, it's
freak.
60 years old.
They were,
They're old
it was
heads.
like a slang word, kind of like let's say we have a twerk fest. It was in that sense. So they had a dance
like
called
doing
the freak.
the dog.
Yeah,
or doing the butt.
doing the dog.
The butt.
The dog.
Yeah, you guys are definitely aging yourself, but
I mean, my mom's 80.
butt, I mean,
yeah.
they did the
but
dog.
it was called the freak, and they wanted to do a picnic. And that's what it called Freaknik. So it was a dance picnic, and it was very it was very
innocent
It was
when it started.
It was when it started. It
Yeah.
didn't really.
And they were saying like for college students that didn't have money to go home and everybody
Yeah.
didn't have money to keep traveling back
Yeah.
and forth. Like, if you're at an Ivy League college, you can go home for Christmas or whatever,
Yeah.
or Thanksgiving
Okay.
or spring break or whatever. But the black parents like, we just trying to get you to
Yeah.
the degree
That's
to walk
it.
the stage. You got to stay down there. But it turned into, black men and we just talked about Puffy and, all those other guys in power. But it turned into something that was really sick because a lot of those black men started being predatory,
Yeah.
with preying on those black women, and then some rape came out of it. But then I'm a realist. Like, you have on Daisy Dukes, like half of your whole booty is hanging out. Are you not trying to appeal to these men? And then
They
when
are
they
trying to
become,
appeal to them, but they're not trying to be assaulted.
they're not trying to be assaulted,
They
but you
not-
want
yeah.
somebody to do something.
You
You
want
just want
the
them to stand back and look.
attention.
You want the attention. So here's the thing: don't be putting your booty out there, like dropping out of your pants, like half of your camel toe all out.
You are angering somebody right
I
now.
understand that, but this is my opinion.
I feel you.
Unpopular as it may
I
be,
feel you.
like, watch what you got on.
what you
If
got
you
on.
don't want it, like, don't do a booty dance where your coochie's showing. If you don't want somebody to like run up on you behind you and
Right.
pick you up and put you on their shoulders,
I
like,
agree.
perhaps not do that.
Especially
and everybody
if that
know.
was the culture right then.
Especially if that was what it was. They had a long run of the Freaknik. That's what they did.
But here's the thing: so with spring break. You think about spring break. Spring break is usually at the beach, at the park, and so you are going to be dressed, in bikini kind of stuff.
Yeah,
These
women
people was
should
in the
be
middle
able to
of the
walk
street.
around-
Listen,
women
but
should be able to
here's-
walk around in bikinis,
women should be able
short
to do-
shorts, and
That
not
is called
be
indecent
sexualized.
exposure in the
were.
middle of the street.
No, but this is what happened though. See, it was a college event. Then you start having grown ass men come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people that were 50,
That's
40
when it
years
got
old
wild.
come, and that's when it got crazy. And so women, they were dressed
Provocatively.
provocative clothes, but at the same time, you got a swimsuit on. It's still no excuse for nobody to touch you, and that's
Yeah.
not, to me, that's not inviting rape, because they were
No.
doing that
It's
to
not
women
inviting rape.
to women who
But
had
it
on
is
fully
kind of like
clothed.
welcoming a little bit of assault.
It could be, but that's
No.
not. It's not fair. To me, it's not.
It's not fair. I'm not
It's
saying
not
it's fair,
fair.
but
Yeah.
I'm saying I understand how
No,
they
no,
may
I
have
can see where-
had a misconception about
Yeah.
what you were looking for.
Yeah, but
And
that's
somebody didn't teach them that you can't do that to women. No
but
matter
like-
what they
but- but like
because everybody didn't end up in jail. Everybody didn't end up,
And everybody
being
wasn't touching women.
Yeah.
Everybody wasn't touching women.
But like we said, like with Carisha, the whole situation where we were saying like how, like, okay, here's the thing, like if they were dressed a certain way or whatever, and there were people that
Not
that
just
were
dressed,
with it, that were
but
not
doing
dressed.
all the sex,
But that's
like
my point.
it was all
there
about
were women
getting
who
up on
did-
their
but
trucks.
there were women who did it. Those were the ones who were okay with it. They were
Right.
just touching anybody.
Yeah.
There were women who were on
was
trucks
with it.
with their legs wide open, booty popping, and they was with it. The ones who weren't were the ones who were getting assaulted, because
How
it's
you know?
like, I watched the documentary.
Oh.
They said it in documentary.
Know it all. Get
They
your
said it in
glasses on.
documentary.
I took my glasses off. I can't remember.
It was women. A lady who got assaulted because she went in to get some gas,
Oh,
and she
okay. So
came
she
back, and they were like all like men were like surrounding her car, and pulling up, like stuff
empowered
like that.
Okay, what's going on at the time.
That's too far, but I'm that ain't. You're talking about the lady that had on like the denim jumpsuit. Is that okay? Yeah, I'm so sorry that happened to her, and she didn't deserve that at all, like for real. But some of the women who were like being picked up and touched, and you jumping on his dashboard with your stuff in his face. What do you think he's gonna put his face right there? Like, what do you think is about to happen right now? So that's a little bit different, But it morphed into something that it wasn't supposed to be from the inception. But people love to take it too far.
It did start off good, as a good thing, which as a black gathering for young college students, but it definitely turned into some predatory behavior, which I'm glad they didn't shy away from that. They did tell it what it was, because it did turn into.
They trying to bring it back though.
I don't know, like, if it's
as like a concert, it's
that could be something.
Yeah, they said, and they were talking about how whoever that guy was down there that bought like the license for Freaknik or whatever, whatever it is, and the older people that started was like, no, Freaknik is over. That's not what it is. News to everybody. If they start that up and they bring in all the people, just like the Usher, what was his fest called? That thing that they just did.
That got shut down.
No, Usher just had a music festival or
in Vegas.
Yeah,
Lovers and Friends.
Yeah, Lovers and Friends.
Okay.
It can be just like a whole Lovers and Friends situation. Like we be looking for something to do, and in the springtime, in the summertime, or whatever. It could very well come back as a beautiful thing that's just about Black empowerment and music. And they said they were going to be adding health, things.
But you'll have a gang of people be like, no, this is what happened to me. This is my story.
Yeah, great. This is the new Freaknik. You got to let the thing evolve.
Yeah,
but they can't call it Freaknik maybe because that's the negative connotation.
Yeah,
it is tainted.
Like Diddy.
What can they call it besides Freaknik now?
Well, they did change it. It's called Black College. Black College Spring Break.
See, she knows
Black
every
College Spring Break.
No, it's called Black College Spring Break. That's what it.
Black College Spring Break.
That's what they tried to. Yeah, that's what they tried to switch today.
BCSB.
Yeah, they try to change to Black College
like
Spring Break.
HBCU, BCSB.
Yeah. So, but before we get out of here, I want to knock out a couple girl topics. So
we can talk all night.
We can talk all night.
I told Leticia it's gonna be like us just sitting around talking at Bill Bill's house. Like,
so
we can do this.
Okay, so I just saw this before I got here. It was a girl. She made it was a quick video. She said that I'm not looking for a potential. Already come potentied. Already come potentied when it comes to dating. So, do y'all agree? Disagree?
I think there's a season for potential, but
it's a season.
There's a season for potential. Sometimes at different parts of your life, you can, date for potential. I'm not in that season. Yeah. I'm not in that season. You have to have come into your own in some way or another. You have to be able to present something. Yeah. And I don't want to have to look for it
like
for
you.
For yeah, absolutely. But all those men out there with the potential, there's somebody out there for you.
Not for you.
I'm just.
What about you, guy?
Do you have to come potential?
That potential had me laughing for a long
time.
I don't know, some young lady, but she had me in tears with that potential.
My potential is so good. What you say, T?
I think there's levels. You always continue to grow. Like, I have accomplished so many things in my life. You guys have accomplished so many things in your life. So we do have potential. There are men in the same realm, right?
Potential for more.
Potential for more, right? That's what I'm
I think like some of those core things, people have to determine what are those like those things that my must-haves. What are those core things? You can't be having potential in those core, requirements.
Yeah.
Now, if you have you already have a great career and you are solid in your mental state and your emotional state, emotional well-being, but you have aspirations, of owning, a skyrise downtown.
Yeah.
Now that's potential.
That's right.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But you got to have something. You have to come in with my
a little something.
Solid rock, hardcore, baseline
something
stuff
to be able to be built upon.
Correct. We're not just gonna be out here on sink and sand. We can. I cannot. I'm 41.
Yeah, I'm 40.
Come Potentinced in
a little bit
the baseline
Come
area.
Potentinced in the baseline.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I agree. Like
I cannot wait to say that.
Oh, that Potentinced, honey, that is.
Oh, that's gonna live for
that
2024.
Was good to me. I mean, like, because I get what she was saying. Like, I don't know why why a man would be offended by that, because as a woman we're too old to be
coming into something. Yeah, exactly.
Unpotential.
Yeah, we're not asking for anything that we're not bringing.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, you should not want me, changing careers every day and not figuring. You should want a woman
that's lucrative.
You should want a certain woman, absolutely, as it's bringing something to the table.
Unless you're adding,
we should be adding to each other at this point.
A something.
Yeah, we should be adding. So I don't think people. Guys, like, I think sometimes guys, like, they hear that and they think like she's saying she wants something that she can't provide. But I think I get when you are an older woman, you're just trying to.
Yeah, let's be clear. We're older women and we've been providing.
We're seasoned, so just like
we've been providing for ourselves. Clearly,
yeah.
I attracted you. Yeah. I can hold me down.
So I'm not asking.
So if you're coming to me, competent.
Okay.
Okay.
Competent.
Yeah.
All right. So what about this? That's that. So is that a deal breaker, or do you have any other deal breakers when it comes? If someone is just living off potential, obviously that's a deal breaker. But are there any other deal breakers in relationships that you guys just like? I can't. Like, what would be something that would be like a turn off
when you're already in a relationship?
No, just a deal breaker. Well, it could be both
for you to end your relationship.
Yeah, or to even not even entertain someone. Like, what's a deal breaker for you? You can touch both of them. You can be in a relationship. This is one, or if it's
Tereon.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'll speak from a singles perspective. Mm-hmm. So I won't talk about getting out of a relationship because I'm not in a relationship right now. Mm-hmm. So
she's free, guys. Y'all heard that? You heard it here first.
So I gotta see the signs. We've been talking about potential, and this is what we grew up on: steps and goals, right?
Yeah.
But I gotta be able to see that you are trustworthy, right?
Yeah.
I can't deal with someone who is a liar. It's just I can't stop.
I think she's gonna get all of my red table.
Yeah.
You all. I think these are just bare. This is what we expect
bare
as
bones.
women. Yeah,
but you know what? I ask because when you get older, some of that bare bone stuff, people. It goes in the garbage.
I did hear a woman
and that's when the thirst is real,
that.
and that's what we can't let happen.
Yeah.
And that's when all of the codes and the do's and the don'ts,
standards come down, morals come down.
The standards, the moral standards, the moral compass gets lost when you when you lose that. It's I want to be able to. I want to be able to trust the person that I'm with. I have grown to understand a little bit more about myself, right? I don't like indecision.
Okay.
I don't want to know what you want out of life, out of love, out of family. Know what you want before you get to me. Don't come to me confused.
That
come to me clear. Come to me with a plan. Come to me knowing what it is that you want. People are like, I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm just kind of going with the flow. I need you to know what you're looking for. I need you to be honest. I need you to be a Christian, at your core values to match what it is, that I believe in. Because those are hurdles, that I don't want to have to overcome later. I want you to know what it is that you want to do with your life. I don't want you to come to me like Tommy with no job or not, you every day you trying something new unless you already got something solid. I'm all for adding things to the plate, but where's your solid? Where's your thing?
Where's your foundation?
Yeah, where's your solid foundation? Yeah, those things, just getting to know yourself and what's important to you. Those are the things for me.
Yeah.
It could all be so simple, right?
But you'd rather make it hard.
I think I agree. I'm with you guys with that. I think for me, it's just like I don't the untruth, the liars, because I feel like when you're lying, you're thinking for me, and I hate when people think for me. Like anybody who knows me knows that I can think for myself, and I don't like being told what to do. And so if you're lying to me, you're telling me what to do. You're guiding me into something that, because here's the thing: if I'm gonna be a fool for you, I'm gonna be a fool for you. You really ain't gonna. You ain't gotta lie about it.
Because I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. So if I'm gonna be on dummy time, I'm gonna be on dummy time. You really don't have to lie to me about that. True. So I don't like that. For sure. No matter what stage of life, I didn't like that.
I think that line is a common thread. Just don't take away my power of choice.
Yes.
Just tell me the truth. And if I choose to be dumb, and we've all been dumb at some point or another in life, if I choose to be dumb and overlook the truth, what I know to be true, that's on me. But don't take my power of choice away because I don't want you to do that.
It's not
I don't want to be swayed in that way.
You're right. Fair. Lying leads to a lie. Like you said, you can't trust if you lie. Now that's deception at this point. It's too much. But I feel like everybody's not there. Like everybody is in different seasons of their life. But you know how they always say you can do bad by yourself, but I don't really look at it like I can do bad by myself. Right, exactly. I can't lose
if I try
on my own. Why would I want to do bad with you?
Right. Yeah. So I definitely can't welcome anyone else because I can't lose if I try.
No need.
Faith way up.
Come on.
Nope. I know this because we're best friends and we talk about this all the time. Well, not something we talk about all the time, but this has never been an issue for us. Like, so every time I see on the internet someone saying like, all women do this. All women have
that blanket
did it to like
get it off of me.
All women have screwed all one of their friends' men or
whoa.
No. Right. Or all women they say like you can't leave your man around your friend. Now I know how we feel because we've never had those kind of issues.
Wild.
We don't know about that.
We don't know nothing about that.
But why do you think we so strong in that? Why do you think it's supposedly so common?
Let's really, I never understood it. I don't really want to delve into it to try to figure out what it is. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't ever want to be in that position. I won't ever be in that position with my circle of friends.
It's a mental health issue.
It's a mental illness.
It's mental.
It's a mental.
It's gotta be a mental health issue, especially if you value your friendships and the people around you, and you know how incredibly hard it is to build a strong foundation, especially if you're getting older. Like, I appreciate the fact that we've been friends since we was kids. So I've never had one doubt about like, where do we stand?
Right.
Like, I leave you in the house with my man all day, every day. I don't care, like, ain't nothing happening, right. And if he do something, you gonna tell me whatever it is that he did. Like, so such as you want to know? Do you want to know? Okay, so this is what I already know that's gonna happen. But these people, there's some mental problems cracking out here.
I think that's what it is. I think I got it. I think
you got it.
Okay. Some big glasses.
The mental thing got it for you.
The glasses.
It kind of led me somewhere else.
Yeah, pass them my glasses.
These are my metaphoric big glasses. Okay. I think
you
that
gotta put the glasses on.
Glasses on.
Oh gosh,
because you know everything.
Well, you make a point. Put the glasses on.
Okay.
You look good, girl.
I feel like people. We value our friendship, right?
Yeah.
And, it's always on display. People, have said, okay, y'all have been friends for so long. And I think that people want that same value in a mate or somebody that they're dating or whatnot.
Yeah.
So when they see that it's good with you or with anybody else, they covet that or they want that. So it's like maybe something in them is saying, okay, well, if she can have it, I can have it too. So it's a possibility for me.
That's nuts.
And it's nuts. It's crazy. But I'm saying, well, why does it have to be just her?
Right.
Now I'm feeling this.
That's an internal
weirdo vibe.
That's we haven't had that issue. Not
because
saying,
we have a sound mind.
Thank God.
Yeah.
We have a sound mind.
Is that a word?
That's a word. You knew everything on that one, Freya. I think it was glasses did it for. No, you had it for the glasses.
Yeah.
No, I think it's mental problems though. For real though, people are nuts. Like, you don't understand what friendship means. You don't understand the value behind having lifelong friends, people that are going to be there and have your back, you know, that are going to support you, you know, through life. You don't understand like what that brings to your family. Like at this point, you all are not friends, you're family.
Yeah.
Like at no point in my life until the day that I die do I see you all not being a part of my life. Yeah. So they don't understand the value and the blessing that comes with that. But also, let's talk about how the thirst is real, right? Yeah. So people become so desperate to get what they see, you know, on Instagram, on Facebook. You're so desperate to have this, but you don't know what those couples are going through to get to the point picture, of like, or it could just be the picture, like you said. Yeah, but this is a motion picture, though. Yeah. You're seeing a still shot, though. Yeah, exactly. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors, what kind of stuff they going through. What if she crying every night? They taking a picture on Instagram, but they could be like fighting
every day. He could be beating her ass
every day. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You don't know what's going on. So people see that and they want what they see instead of just being patient and waiting, you know, for their person to come into their life, you know, and to take them, you know, to the next place in that next season in their lives. You know, there's no patience. You got to be patient, especially, you know, at this point, because people, it's a diamond in the rough. If you find somebody at this point, and this could be an unpopular opinion, but if you find somebody at this point that can really meet your needs, it's a diamond in the rough, but you got to wait for it.
Yeah. I think too, like, just to close this out, like, I think that, you know, for me, I would never want to do anything to purposely hurt my friend. Yeah. So even like when you can have a man that's just fine as, you know, wine. I don't care what he look like.
He just look. We say that all the time. He just look. I don't know if you're cute or ugly.
Like he's ugly.
I don't know what he is.
But I could even acknowledge that. Oh, Carya has a handsome. He's a handsome guy, but I'm not attracted to him. No,
though. You just.
I just think that he's nice looking.
You're just alive. Look at him you're and breathing.
Happy for her.
Yeah, happy for her. Like, I don't know.
Like, how do you want? How do you see your friends, man, and be like, I want, like, that's. I don't know what that. I don't know what that looks like. And
it's sick.
When people say that on the internet, it's just like, I'm like, I can't relate.
It's coming from lack.
I can't relate. All right, but before we leave, I'm gonna ask you guys one question. All right. And we'll end that on this.
We need to go out for drinks and finish talking.
This is before we leave. So right now, what do you think life is? What do you think? What is life teaching you now?
Patience.
I saw that. I saw this question. I don't know. One of the blogs posted it. What is life teaching you now? I thought it was like a really good thing to kind of reflect on. So what is life teaching you now? Whoever want to go first.
Life is teaching me patience.
Okay. In what way?
In every way. In my career, in my love life, in my faith, with my family. Literally, life is teaching me patience. And when I say life, I mean God. Because I feel like he's the life lesson provider.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? In every way, with my mom and health, and with my love life, and just being in balance in that place, and with my career and trying to turn from 9 to 5 or to entrepreneur, you know, continuing on in music, just all of those things. Life is teaching me patience. And everything takes time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't rush it. You can't skip any steps. Even when you want to just kind of go from A to Z or A to S a little bit, you got to just kind of do the little increment. You got to sing your ABCs. Yes. You got to kind of get there. So life is teaching me patience. And I know that's something that I've always kind of struggled with, because I kind of like things to go quickly. You know, when you know how we are. If you can envision a thing, you could just want to kind of jump to it. Yeah. But you got to kind of, you know, take those stair steps.
What about you, T?
Well, in my life, I've always asked God, like, if there's a lesson that I can learn without having to go through it, let me learn it from someone else. But as I'm learning right now, I feel like life is teaching me that I am prepared for whatever is set in front of me. I feel like I've done a lot of things, right? And I always am that person who feels like I can achieve it. I can do it, right? But there are some things that are those small things, or those things that you want to accomplish, but there's a little fear, or there's a little bit of angst there. And I feel like life right now is teaching me, as I continue to go through, like, you're prepared, you can do it. Yeah. You know, I've seen, if I look back over those things that I was a little bit scared of or a little bit anxious about, I can look back at them, that means that I've accomplished it. I've done it. So I've got to sit in that and know, like, okay, whatever's next, I'm prepared for it.
Yeah. What's life teaching you, Tease?
I think mine is similar. I think for me, I've always been like, maybe it's being the oldest sibling. I've always liked to play it safe. So I worked a job for 15 years and I was like comfortable in that. So when I finally left that job, that kind of opened my eyes to like, you can move around, right? Yeah. And so I went to another job. I stayed there for 5 years. At the job I left that job where I'm at now, and I'm ready to move again.
Yeah.
But I used to be scared to do that. But I think like life is telling me like even with the podcasting, something I wanted to do for a long time, finally did that. Even with creating my first like planner, finally did that. Like I feel like God is like in life is just telling me like, like
check.
I'm all kind of like scared of being great. Mm-hmm. And not like you're great in the sense of I think I'm better than everybody. Yeah. It's like, you know what, you have a lot. You can be you have so much more that you are withholding because you're scared to be great. Like you're scared to be like, I'm actually gonna do really good at that.
Yeah.
And what happens when I really do good at that? Like, how do I get, what happens next? So I have been so scared to be like to do certain things because I'm like, what if I actually do good at that? And it's
you
uncomfortable. I couldn't, but you know what? That's what life was teaching me. You got to do it. Like you can't be scared to be great. If that's something, abilities that God is giving you, then you're ready for it. Like do it. But you're never gonna know if you don't go for it. And so that's what I'm trying to do is not restrict myself from anything. Like I'm gonna just go for it.
Yeah, man.
It's just go for it. And it's been like, honestly, like this year has been like just so like I'm all about remember I'm gonna stop rambling, but remember
cut the cameras, we're gonna finish.
remember when we were younger, Sister Jefferson, this is our Sunday school teacher, y'all. Yes, one of the best teachers.
Yes, MVP.
But she's like the most peaceful person in the world. And I always wanted to be like, how does she just be cool? Like she don't care about nothing. And that's how life has been becoming for me. Is just trying to be worry free. And I've just had like, even though everything is not perfect, even in stuff that been not perfect, I've had like a worry free, like enjoying happiness. Like I'm like, and I used to be scared of being happy. That's crazy. Isn't that crazy to be scared of being happy? Yeah. So I'm like,
that's because you was always worried about us and your sisters,
worried about
and everybody else. We are not your responsibility. Your happiness is actually your responsibility. Right. Don't fail you.
Right. So wait, take the time. Know you're prepared. Go for it.
And do it.
Yeah.
That's the word. You got the glasses.
Take the time. Know you're prepared. And go for it.
That's it.
I didn't put my glasses on.
That's
okay.
a word.
Well, before we leave, y'all want to say bye to anybody before we go?
Say bye to anybody.
Y'all want to give a shout out to anybody?
Shout out to all the viewers.
Y'all viewers. Thank you to everybody that continues to support my friend and SOTSOT, Corey, Coach Mo. And
we miss you, Coach.
Too, yeah.
We miss you, Coach. Yeah, you supposed to be here with us. Hope you feel better. But yeah, shout out to everybody, all of the supporters. Y'all keep supporting. She is no longer afraid of the greatness that lies within. And we can see that now. That's very evident. Anything Latisse puts her hands to, anything that Corey puts his hands to is destined for greatness.
Absolutely.
I always affirm every day at 111 and 11:11, everything that I touch turns to gold. And that is transferred over to my friend. Everything that she touched turns to gold.
Everything that we touch.
Everything we touch turns to gold.
Hey, go member. Hey, go member.
Is this a Dusty you singing?
Oh, gosh.
You don't remember that from Austin Powers?
Gold member, she's saying.
Oh,
gold member. Yeah. Oh, God. So you want to shout out to anybody?
No, I just second everything that Carya says. Again, I'm so proud of both of you all. Keep going. Life is great.
Well, I'm going to shout out to everybody that listen as well. But you know what? I've been wanting. This is one thing I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to do like an all girls podcast, like just where we branch off for like every other month or like a month and do some girl talk. So we're gonna do this again, y'all.
This was good.
We'll do this again. And we can do this all night long.
We just gonna do all girl talk, next time. Maybe bring us some people next time. But thank y'all for rocking with us. This is episode 101. The audio will be out tomorrow. You guys can see the video. Y'all will see it on Saturday. But until next week, we'll see y'all again. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night.
God bless you. Good night.